Welcome to Living Local. I'm Gail Kvistad, your guide, and we're in the heart of San Ynez Valley here at the Zaca Creek Ranch. And they don't just have cows, they're serving up fresh brewed coffee. Wait till you meet Haley and Dennis. They're gonna tell us all about it, and you're gonna meet the llamas too, and some alpacas. Let's go. Wow, what a local roundup. Hi, Haley.
Welcome to our store. This is our general store at Zaca Creek Ranch. And this tells the story. This is the whole story behind what we created for our coffee, for Zaca Coffee. Our cowboys need a cup of coffee in the morning to get going. And the surfers need a cup of coffee to get on the beach and warm themselves before they take their plunge. So that's what Zaca Coffee is all about.
Locals. We're really living local. Okay, so Haley, people can come out to this ranch and witness what I just saw. Oh, yes, and meet you. And they can come meet you.
This is Cotton. And yes, absolutely, we love having visitors. We do tours, we enjoy having children and families, and it is so fun. See the cows, see the llamas, see the alpacas in action.
And this is really living local, and so if you are a local, and even if you aren't a local, and you're here in California in the Central Coast, this is a must stop at Zaca Creek Ranch. It's absolutely gorgeous and so much fun.
Thanks, it's so fun having you here, what a hoot.
Well, there's more to cows and the ranch. There's actually coffee. Dennis, nice to be here.
Good to have you here. This was the last of the Mexican government's land grant ranches in what was then Alta, California. It was called the Rancho San Carlos de Hanade.
Right. This is a real working cattle ranch.
We will typically run 60, 70 pair of Black Angus. With Haley, I inherited about 30 alpacas, and one day I said to her, you know, they're very cute, but what can we do with them? And she reminded me that alpaca fiber is a lot like cashmere. It's very valuable. So now every spring we shear the alpacas and we produce alpaca blankets and horse blankets and throws and some clothing, which we sell in our Zacapaca store.
And who are your friends behind us here?
Well, these are a number of our mixed breed cattle that, of course, over time they became pets.
I was going to say, they seem pretty timid and really, really friendly.
Yeah, they're a little too friendly. They're the luckiest cows in the San Ynez Valley.
And you too can come see them here at the Zaca Creek Ranch.
Zaca Coffee is a result of a lot of research on not just beans from particular countries, but particular farms. It's craft coffee, it's high-grade coffee. What's really critical is the roast. How you roast and how long you roast. Advisedly, because our mascot is our llama Joe, who is oddly riding my Yater Spoon surfboard, which is very, very Santa Barbara.
It is.
Talk about living local.
Talk
Gail.
about living local. Come on. Rennie
It
Yater.
doesn't get any more
Reynolds Yater is the local icon and surf legend, and we've featured his work here before. And he is a longtime shaper, and your love of surf and love of cattle, and it's so nice of you to share this. And it really does, in the morning, transport you to a different place.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's our goal. That's our goal. And great coffee. Because we are such a local brand, we have had people who are so excited about supporting something that's grown organically in this area. I'm talking about an organic product that has grown up here on the Central Coast, and people have been just wonderful about supporting us, supporting this adventure.
Well, you can tell it's really a labor of love, and it's your passion, and the two of you, it's so nice of you to share with everyone.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Everybody loves a cup of Joe. So let's go meet Rob.
Yes,
Rob Wallace,
absolutely.
and hear all about the blend and the roasting.
Absolutely.
Good. Let's go.
Thank you. Oh, hello, Rob. This is so exciting to meet you. So now tell us about some of these blends.
Sure. Well, the original two were the Yama and Llama, which one's for Haley, one's for Dennis. You know, the Yama is...
And the llama.
We found that perfect blend for him, named for my husband, Llama. And I said, well, wait a minute. I like a slightly different 3 addition of Colombian.
Wow. And then you were able to formulate these and
try until you go, that's the one.
It's been really fun. And
How fun to share your passions and to grow your passion together and to
It's
share
great.
it with all of us, because all these different blends. Now, this one right here,
Bosco.
Bosco after the dog.
After the dog, after Bosco,
It's
and
espresso.
appropriately espresso. It shows his
Fuerte.
coloring, what we think of, you know, the milk and the coffee together.
And this is named after your pig.
This is named after our pig, and well, you'll meet the pig. He's a character. Hi, buddy. Specific for cold brew.
Okay, I find this so exciting because this you can take anywhere and you don't need hot water. You could take this on a trip with you. You have your own
Cold brew.
and you can have your own cold brew.
Absolutely. Our cold brew to keep cool.
Oh, I love it.
And then Jack's, I have to just put in a plug for Jack's blend, named after Jack, who is the oldest horse on the ranch, and he's such a sweet old guy, but he doesn't need pep and, you know, zing right now. He
just
needs
a little bit of flavor.
Exactly. So that's the Jack's.
You need to come to the heart of the San Ynez Valley, to the Zacca Creek Farm, and you can come out here on Sundays, and if you join the coffee club, you can come and make an appointment and come out and see and meet the llamas.
Here's the before,
So we can take this out.
and wow, look at the difference.
There's the after.
Oh, that's a big difference.
Woody, yeah. So essentially, what you're doing is breaking down the molecular structure of it, and you know and the coffee goes through a couple different phases, and that at a certain point, so much energy builds up, it pops and it becomes exothermic, and it pushes the energy out. Yeah. So you'll hear.
And that's where all the flavor comes from.
So up until that point, what you're doing is you're building acidity up until that point, and so the
Oh, you're
acids are
building the acid.
Yes, you know, the longer you roast, the smoother it's going to be.
And you can see these are so much smaller, and these guys are that much bigger.
And these are all the products. They're actually made from alpaca. So this is baby alpaca, because when you put your Tootsies on these, it is the softest, most incredible way to come out of the shower. And it's completely water resistant and water safe. And I want to show you the store, because this is why we have the alpacas.
I mean, talk about living local. Now, these two really are living local from top to bottom. We're out here on the ranch, and you have alpacas, and now you have alpaca fur, and then now we're actually standing on a rug that's from your alpaca fur.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
And not dyed, the natural colors.
These are all natural colors.
Those are all natural colors?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, 23 natural colors. It's the most beautiful fiber in the world.
Thank you, Zacca Creek. This
Ah.
is so amazing. Zacca Creek Ranch and Zacca Coffee. You have to join the club.
And you can come to your Christmas shopping here.
This is the place.
This is it.
We're living local, Santa Barbara.
Having fun all day long.
Always other people that help all of us get where we're going, right?
Santa Barbara has a rich tradition in horseback riding. In fact, there's trails that go all throughout the foothills. In Montecito, throughout Hope Ranch, and right here on the beach. Horseback riding is a lot easier and more accessible than you think. There's a lot of barns, and there's shows that come to the Earl Warren Showgrounds. And you have to check your local listings, but every month there's something exciting and happening with the horse and equestrian world. Embrace it, Santa Barbara. If everybody cleaned their area when they first got to the beach would be clean. I'm in the Siancon Biosphere. This is a UNESCO Marine Heritage Site. The trash from all of the Caribbean comes and collects here in the Siancon Biosphere in the Yucatan of Mexico. I first came in 1996 and discovered the Maya ruins and the ocean and the cenotes and the agua dulce and just fell in love. I came back last year and I saw the trash. Unless we get people thinking differently about their use and consumption, and unless we get people thinking differently about whose responsibility it is, nothing's ever going to change. I love this place too much to watch it become a garbage dump.
Thank you for the cultural legacy and enrichment of our community.
Welcome to Living Local Santa Barbara. I'm Gail Kvistad, your guide, and we're here at the iconic Arlington Theater. Now, many of you have enjoyed this theater for generations, but you may not know it's got the Wonder Morton, a grand pipe organ. And we're here to learn more about the Santa Barbara Theater Organ Society. Now let's go meet David Corwin, who is owner of Metropolitan Theaters and the president, and let's go find out more about this iconic theater organ we have, the Wonder Morton, here at the Arlington Theater. Come on, Santa Barbara, let's go see. David, hello.
Hi, Gail. How are you? Nice to see you.
It's nice to see you, and it's so exciting to be here at the Arlington. And you grew up with the movies. Your whole family's been in the industry.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time, making popcorn and helping people come in, and the anticipation of seeing something new on the big screen.
And we still have that, don't we?
I think probably more than ever. Given that the last year, people have not been able to do that for the most part.
No, and we realize how important it is and how much of our history and our culture is in the movies. This is such an experience because here at this theater, we have the pipe organ. And so it's a Wonder Morton, which there's only 5 Wonder Mortons made in the world. And this is one of the 5. Now, how exciting is it to have it here?
No, it's incredible. And honestly, I wish we used it more, but we're able to share it more with the community because it's so unique and extraordinary. And like you said, there are only a handful of them.
Exactly.
But, we do so many different things here, from showing movies to having concerts and speakers that work it in with the help with the Organ Society driving it as much as possible. But it's really special, and I'm glad you're paying attention to it.
Well, I am paying attention because my dad is here on this plaque. Let's look right here for my dad's name. David Schmidt, and he was the treasurer for the Santa Barbara Theater Organ Society and also taught a class at City College. And I don't know if you knew that City College students come in.
No, I love that. That's great.
Isn't that great? And it is one of the iconic things. And during the film festival, we're so fortunate that it gets used during the film festival for silent movies.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I'll tell you, the organ, anything that happens is only because of the Organ Society. I mean, the amount of time they spend on making sure that and keeping it up and making it about and just being here in that when that anticipation is building and you have a full house.
There's nothing like it.
There aren't a lot of movie houses like this anymore. So it really is a rare special experience.
It's such an iconic theater, and we're so fortunate and thankful to your family.
I mean, it's my dad is a collector, so any opportunity, whether it's a couch or an organ, you know,
Exactly.
and a lot of in between.
This couch was actually in the movie Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, another just kind of secret treasure at the Arlington.
Your father and your family have been instrumental in collecting and creating such beautiful artistry here with the architecture and the revivals. Now, many of you out there probably don't know.
We're going back to the 70s, and I received a call from Hal Conklin, who's the key to this whole thing, and saying something like, Bruce, we found a giant Wurlitzer organ at a movie theater in Texas, and they don't know what to do with it, and I can get it out here if you can store it at the Arlington. And I said, you got a deal. We'll store it at the Arlington. You get it out here.
You know, it really takes you to like another world, you know.
It does. You come in here and you feel like you are back in Spain in the 1900s or 1800s. And look at this. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at the organ. That is really special, isn't it?
Honestly, look at that. It's an extraordinary instrument, if you know. Everything that goes into that, how intricate it is to make it work and sound the way it does, is
It really is magical.
unique,
And to
yeah.
think that there are pipes along in these Spanish villages up here.
yeah, no, that's the hidden treasure, which hopefully you'll get to see.
The Robert Morton organ. This organ played for silent movies. This organ played at the Lowe's in New Jersey. And so this organ has a whole history and has played and entertained so many people. We're here with Bruce Murdoch, who is the president of the Santa Barbara Theater Organ Society, and you're also a founding member, aren't you?
Yes, I was one of the original 7 members of the back in 1986.
The Crown Jewels Project.
Look up. Well, there's over 7,000 moving parts in this. You can't see the majority of the organ. It's all around you. It's 1997.
And they're all just tucked away on the sides here, right?
They're in the Spanish villages on both sides. The viper harp is directly above us. The marimba's off that way. It's all over the place. You're in the organ rather than hearing it like normally on 2 sides of the stage. And the theater is very kind to the organ acoustically. It's got a curved ceiling, and they differ radically from a church pipe organ. They run on 15 times the air pressure. They have pipe ranks that sound like orchestral instruments. Our clarinet rank is very realistic. They have tremulets. A church pipe organ might have 1 tremulet that modulates air pressure. We have 14, and the one on the tibia is very heavy. And that's a big flute. They usually play that rank when the heroine is in distress. And
So there's over 7,000 parts here?
7,000 moving parts. There's more than that. And there are, 432 stops. Each keyboard has 61 notes on it. That's standard for an organ. And this is an electro-pneumatic organ. All communication between the console. There's no sound created in the console at all. It's just electrical contacts. And there's all of the communication from here to the chambers is electrical. So it's a fully unified organ, which means that you can play any pipe on any one of the keyboards. It's fun to play.
I remember meeting you back in the 80s.
So a little while ago, yeah.
It is just a little while ago, right? And look at this machine, this beautiful machine still here.
It's still here.
It's still here and doing better than ever because you gentlemen keep it up, don't you?
We do the best we can. Well, I'd heard that if somebody gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So the virus was the lemons, and the lemonade was that we had the opportunity to work in the theater without any interruption. And we put many, many hours.
And it takes a lot to keep an organ and a machine like this in action. A lot of elbow grease.
Wood wire and glue and leather. And,
right.
You know.
And then if you look at all these, they've got the low bell, the high bells, the sleigh bells, surf. and an airplane, horse hooves.
That's right.
Oh, it's enchanting.
Klaxon, there's a klaxon there, the Uga horn.
Right?
Yeah.
And so now people out there can join the society, and people out there that are interested in the organ. In fact, you don't even need to know how to play the organ to be part of the Organ Society, do you?
It's true.
Yeah, you just have to have a desire to keep something fabulous like this alive. And we're so fortunate to have this in Santa Barbara. And I encourage everyone out there to come to the Arlington and take a look at this beautiful, beautiful wonder. Isn't it a wonder?
It certainly is.
Yes. It's
As a matter of fact, that was the terminology. It was called a Wonder Morton because it's made by the Robert Morton Company from Van Nuys. And the Wonder Theaters were all around the city of New York.
And they had 5 different theaters,
That's right.
and one in Jersey, and that's where this one came from.
That's where this one came from.
And so the neighbors are off in Manhattan and the Queens and Brooklyn, and here we have in Santa Barbara our own Wonder Morton.
That's right.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
And thank you for being a good friend of my dad, too, because I know he enjoyed you and Bruce and this whole Organ Society so very much. And it was a great passion of his and of so many people's, and we get to enjoy this. Thank you. This is where it all happens. This is where all the pipes and all the stuff is. Wow, look at this. Here we are walking around the Arlington. Wow, what are we looking at here, George?
Lots of pipes.
Wow. Oh my gosh, I remember coming here when I was a kid. Yeah. Wow, and to think, the flute just has one flute, but the organ has how many? 90?
97.
97.
So the big difference between an orchestra, a flute can play any note it wants, one note. We have 97 flutes in the organ. Each one can play one note.
Well, here's the littlest of the pipes. And the part that sounds is from this
It's just the
slot up to here.
Look at these. Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing your passion and for keeping this beautiful piece alive for the rest of us to enjoy in this history.
Well, thank you for...
Thank you, and come again sometime.
We have open consoles, and you can...
We'll be back.
Especially
May 22 of 2021 will be the Arlington's 90th birthday. And when it opened in 1931, they had a big procession up State Street.
And you were here when the theater organ came, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
And how was that when these gentlemen came and said, we're going to put a theater organ in the Arlington?
Well, I didn't know how complicated it was going to be at the time. That was a real eye-opener.
7,000 pieces of metal and leather and wire, right?
Yeah, oh, it was a big project.
A big project. And so many people come to enjoy it, don't they?
They do. Oh, yeah, people are just astounded by it.
And have you heard it play?
Oh, yes, and I got a tour.
The Crown Jewels Project right here, and in honor of my dad, who was a happy and proud member of the Santa Barbara Theater Organ Society.